KFSR at CMAC present the Central Valley Ledger, a public affairs program featuring stories from all over the Central Valley with Sevag Tateosian, 90.7 KFSR.
Welcome to another edition of the Central Valley Ledger. We're recording out of the beautiful downtown Fresno studios of the Community Media Access Collaborative, Fresno and Clovis. We're recording out of the beautiful studios here. Our guest today is passionate about peace. You see him involved in various peace activities. Dr. Kapoor, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you very much for having me on your show. It's a privilege and honor to be with you.
First of all, I want to call you a celebrity.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I'll tell you why. You walked in here and someone was your student. You walked down the hall and someone stopped you and talked to you. So you know more people in here than I do, Dr. Kapoor.
Well, thank you. I think I feel very blessed, actually, because I have been here in the community for quite some time. I have students probably all over.
So before we talk about your connection to Fresno State and some of the activities that you do, tell us about your background. What year did you end up coming to the United States?
Well, I came to United States in '63 via Europe. I was in Holland doing some research and studying over there, but it was '63 that I came. And the interesting thing is that the day I arrived, it was the next day after Dr. King had a march in Washington, D.C. So my friend whom I met actually after I arrived showed me the newspaper of Dr. King's march, actually. I was so delighted, so happy to see that. Of course, I came by boat, actually, on the ship. I did not know that was happening, but when I learned about it, it was a great joy, to be very honest, to know about the great march and Dr. King's speech. I have a dream, my goodness, actually. It still rings for years like that over there.
So before you arrived to the United States, were you studying peace or, stuff like that?
Yes. Well, in India, I was working with an organization which was devoted to the work of Gandhi, actually. After Gandhi left, after Gandhi was gone, there was a big organization established in India, a big fund to carry on his legacy, carry on his work, actually. And it is known as a Gandhi Memorial Trust.
Okay.
So I was working in Punjab. I was the chief organizer, where my major role was actually to work with the young people and also actually to train workers to work in the villages like that over there. So I have been in the, I should say, Gandhian movement after independence, not before that. Yeah, after independence, actually, I was quite involved in the Gandhian movement. Though I studied quite a bit of Gandhi, heard about him, but did not get a chance to meet him.
Oh.
Very unfortunate like that. But we used to hear him about the radio, his talks and speeches all the time. So he was a household word, actually, like that in India when I was growing up like that over there.
What's interesting is you're doing peace work in India. You come here and you hear about Dr. King's speech. What a great connection, right?
Oh, yes. I think I felt very blessed about that I, though, did not get a chance to meet Dr. King, but I did meet Mrs. King. I did meet other members of the, actually, I have beautiful pictures, actually, with Mrs. King, actually, also like that. And I invited Dr. King's son twice to Fresno, like that. And I recently met him in Stanford in a conference also. Martin Luther King Jr. III, actually, he was there with his daughter, like that. So I had felt very closely connected with the King family also, like that, in this way. It is just my fortune, actually, I think.
So when you came to the United States, when did you realize teaching was what you wanted to do? Because you've been at Fresno State for a long time as well.
Yes, yeah. Well, while I was in India, I also taught too. For a number of years, I worked with this organization, but later on, I also did teach there also in a social work program also over there like that. Actually, in one of the very well-known Muslim university, I also taught in known as it's a Jamia Millia Islamia. It's a national Muslim university. So I did teaching over there in India also like that. But teaching has been also part of my life. But when I was working with the organization, so training the workers also is kind of a teaching involved like that over there. So have been teaching for all these years, more than 60 plus years, I should say.
Congratulations on
Oh,
your
thank
career.
you very much. Thank you very much.
Let's talk about the Peace and Conflict Studies program. Rumor has it you started it.
That's right. Well, I am the founder of the Peace and Conflict Studies program at Fresno State. And we started actually program around 1984, around that time. And it's very coincidence that that was the same time when we started working, observing Dr. King's birthday also in Fresno. Yeah. So it just happened to be just coincidence, the same thing at the same time frame. I am starting a Peace and Conflict Studies program at Fresno State and also getting involved in observing, celebrating Dr. King's birthday in Fresno over here like that over there. So very interesting coincidence that took place.
I didn't realize until recently that there's a connection between Dr. King and Gandhi. Talk about how both of them were similar.
Well, Dr. King was very much influenced by Gandhi. Right? I think it's very historical that how Dr. King came to know about Gandhi. Dr. King was a student in a seminary, and one of the very important African American leader had gone to meet Gandhi in India.
Interesting.
I do not remember the year, but when he came, I think it's Howard Thurman, when he came back to United States and he was giving a lecture, Dr. King was sitting in the front row listening to him.
Interesting.
Before that, he did not know about Gandhi like that over there. After listening about Gandhi and his movement, his work, Dr. King started reading more and more about Gandhi like that over there. So I think that was a great connection that it started when he was a student. And later on, when he was in Montgomery, started the Montgomery bus boycott, which was a great news in India.
Interesting.
Montgomery bus boycott that lasted more than a year was a great news in India. And when it turned out to be a very successful movement, people in India were so much delighted that here is a person using nonviolent methods and techniques to bring change. And that impressed our first Prime Minister Nehru. He was so impressed by that movement that he invited Dr. King to visit India. So in 1959, in February, Dr. King went to India like that. He spent 1 month along with Mrs. King. Both of them spent actually about a month in India as a guest. And I was working at that time for that organization, though I did not get a chance to see because I was posted. I was taking care of my work actually, way away actually from, but I heard him on the radios. Very inspiring like that over there. And we all felt, to be very honest, the vacuum that was there after Gandhi left, or Gandhi was gone. Well, here is a person who is actually light to all of us actually, because he is carrying the message, carrying the work of Gandhi in another land actually like that. So that's a great connection over there like that over there.
What is it about peace that gets you so passionate? You know, there are some people who say, if we have to go to war, let's go to war.
Yeah.
And may the biggest bombs and the biggest military win. I don't believe you think that way. Why is peace so important?
Well, my belief is that the human soul, our soul, is a peaceful soul. Whatever actually nature of the soul is a peace. Soul inside of us does not want war. Soul inside does not want violence. And that is the natural characteristics of our soul is. And I believe in that very strongly. This is my belief system is that inside of us there is some very powerful thing which we call soul. It's a peace. Another name of the soul is, in my opinion, is peace. So it is inside of us. We don't realize that.
It's a matter of bringing it out.
That's bringing it out like that over there. So somehow we get little bit actually carried away by the materialism. This is what Dr. King said. One of the greatest threat to peace is materialism. He mentioned a couple of others also. Materialism is a great threat to peace like that over there. We are all peaceful by nature. But we get actually into all this violence because the conditions, the environments are such like that over there. Because there is injustice, there is inequality, there is a discrimination, there is a poverty. All these things are nothing but violence like that. So there are people who actually see those things but do not know how to address those. So they take a different path. But those who know inside of us is a peace like that over there. So then they try to find different ways of bringing actually peace. And that's what Gandhi did. That's what Dr. King did. That's what Cesar Chavez, right in our own backyard here, did like that. These are the three great heroes of mine, to be honest. Gandhi, King, and Cesar Chavez, like that over there. They are the ones who carried on nonviolence in their work and their struggles like that over there.
Tell us about what Gandhi was trying to accomplish.
Well, Gandhi was trying to accomplish more than one thing. Of course, the priority on his list was the independence of India, no doubt about it.
And at the time it was British?
That's right. The independence, because the British were there more than 200 years. Many other attempts and struggles had taken place. Gandhi was not the first one. Gandhi actually came on a scene where he brought a different approach to deal with oppression, injustice, and a colonial power like that over there. He used to say to the British, to the viceroy, he said, "You will leave India. You will go." And the viceroy said, "Really, Gandhi?" And he, "Yes, but not as our enemy, but as our friend." That's what exactly happened. The British left India as a friend. There was no enmity, no bloodshed, no violence like that over there. It's a great historical incident actually in the history that how British left India in a very non-violent way like that over there.
Today, if I go to India, will I see some influence of the British?
The British influence, oh yes, it is still there. We still have a lot of things, many institutions still are there, roads are there, many other places actually there are, but it's not gone completely. And we felt that the British, though they were rulers, they should not have been there too long, but we did feel that they did something also good for us. For example, India as one country was never ruled by one ruler like that. They were probably the first one who, I should say, historically speaking, ruled India from one end to the other end. Previously, we had small kingdoms here. Kingdom here, kingdom there. Now, bringing the country under one rule, though it is a British, is a very unique thing, because in this way people got connected with each other like that over there, historically like that over there. Also, they brought the rail system, communication, roads, they were developed by them also. Irrigation system was developed by them. There are good things that they did.
Good things. They did good things.
The only thing actually, the exploitation of India. They exploited India. They took away the wealth of India, and in order to actually British to, I should say, thrive actually. British thrived because this is the colonial, all the colonial powers had the same kind of a thing like that. They exploited the local people like, and this is what Gandhi challenged like that over there. That's why he had this boycott of the British goods. And that's the lesson that the British learned. Hey, non-cooperation and boycotts, the powerful non-violent methods and techniques that Gandhi used actually in order to drive the British out of the country like that over there.
If Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. or Gandhi weren't around, say they never came to this world, they never organized, what would the world be like? What would America be like? What would India be like?
Well, in this country, I could say, if Dr. King were not there, his movement were not there, there would have been more bloodshed in the country, particularly in South. People were so angry, people were so mad by the mistreatment and the oppression that they were experiencing, they would have gone very violent. There would have been lot of kind of a civil war, to be very honest actually. It was, I should say, Dr. King and his movement really brought a big change. So I think he did a great, it's altogether a new chapter in the history of this country.
I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you a question. If you had one thing to say to Dr. King and one thing to say to Gandhi, what would it be?
Well, about Dr. King, I would say he was a drum major for justice. He was a champion for human rights. He was a prophet of nonviolence. And about Gandhi, I would say he was a mentor of Dr. King. And I'm glad that Dr. King got influence. And in this way, I am very proud to call Dr. King as Black Gandhi of this country, like that over there.
So in Fresno, every year there's a march. How important is it for people to march?
Well, I feel very blessed that for the last many, many years, I have been leading the march over there, because I have been on the committee since it was established in 1983. So this is 36 years. Our first observance of Dr. King's birthday was in 84, before it was declared a federal holiday. It was Les Kimber, who was a city member of the city council, who really had this vision and a dream to observe birthday of Dr. King in Fresno. So he asked me to join. Actually, he's the one who really had this idea, this plan, this vision. I just joined him actually like that. And he asked me, when I met him actually many times, we worked together. Before death also, he said, Dr. Kapoor, you got to carry on this thing like that. That was his message to me. That's why actually I am continuing what we are doing like that over there. And I think Dr. King's observance celebration is one of the finest celebrations that I know of in Fresno. It brings people from all walks of life, all colors, creeds, they are there. The march actually reflects the diversity of Fresno like that. And it's very empowering for all of us like that. And Dr. King's words still inspire and motivate us. His dream still actually drives us and carries us further like that. His struggle still empowers and strengthens us like that over there. So I feel very blessed that Dr. King came in my life also and became a part of my life. And it kept me going in my life like that over there. That's a passion, because his message is timeless.
At some point then, there's a statue of him put at Courthouse Park and at Fresno State. Talk about those statues. Were you involved in either of them?
I have been a part of both.
How did I know that?
I have been part of both of those celebrations like that. We wanted to have some kind of a visible so that people, younger generation, so when the celebration takes place, we invite children actually from different schools. We do the garlanding ceremony. You may have seen that. Similarly, we do that at Fresno State. I feel so blessed and lucky that I am asked to do the garlanding ceremony for Dr. King in the city as well as in Fresno State. And I also do the same thing for Gandhi and Cesar Chavez, their birthday celebration when it comes. So I feel very lucky and blessed actually for that.
At Fresno State, Dr. King is not the only peace statue. Who else is there?
We have Gandhi statue that came first, then came Cesar Chavez, then came Dr. King, after that Jane Addams. Peace Garden is my legacy for the generations to come like that, so that in this way, the people know that these are the people who made sacrifice for us. It is because of their work, their struggle, their sacrifices, we are enjoying the fruit of that like that over there. And very soon we will be adding Nelson Mandela also on the campus. We already have fundraising campaign going on. Dr. Castro and I are the co-chair of the committee, and we already have collected some. We have $40,000-$50,000, but we need about $100,000. Those who are listening to if they would like to contribute, please contact us.
I'm going to slow you down so that we can talk about it some more. So that now in Peace Garden, there is Gandhi, Dr. King, Cesar Chavez,
Jane Addams.
And now you're looking for Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela, that's
You've started fundraising.
That's right.
Now people can help you by reaching out to the university and helping fundraise, right?
That's right. That's right. I think we really need some help. Those who listen to us would really appreciate if they would get involved. Contacting me, Dr. Castro's office, and there is a fundraising, we call it an advancement office actually. There is a place and a number they could call actually. I could give my number actually. They can 559-801-8189. That's my cell number actually. They could call me over there.
We're running out of time this week on the program, but Nelson Mandela, why is it important to have his statue in the Peace Garden?
Well, Nelson Mandela is another person who really has inspired me. The thing that I really like very much, I want to share, this is a man who was 27 years in prison. When he came out of prison, he had no enmity, no bitterness toward those who put him in the jail. Can you imagine a person 27 years in prison, coming out with no negative energy?
Not angry, nothing.
It's amazing that how he used to say, as we learn how to hate, we can also learn how to love. These are his words like that over there.
You still teach at Fresno State. Talk about the Peace and Conflict Studies program.
Well, Peace and Conflict Study program, which started around 1984 as a minor, we still offer minor, 22 units, something like that. And there are 3 courses that are required. That is, I teach one of them at present. I have colleagues who teach the other ones. Then they take courses from different other departments actually like that over there. This is a program which we feel teaches students how to resolve conflicts peacefully. We have to learn how to resolve our conflict. We are going to have differences. This is a society where conflicts are going to happen, unavoidable. But how to actually address and solve our conflicts? Violence is one, getting on each other is another one, hitting back is another one. But I think time has come where we have to learn we can actually solve our conflicts very peacefully like that, in a very non-violent way. That's what we teach. And that's what students are learning. Some of the students have made these compliments actually to me, given these kind of comments, Dr. Kapoor, after taking the class, it has changed their life. It's really something good to hear about that over there.
In the peace process, speaking to each other is an important part of it.
Communication is very important.
Communication. So I imagine your classes have a ton of information on
Yes, sir.
communication and what to say. So Dr. Kapoor, your next goal is the Nelson Mandela statue, or what's your next goal?
Well, Nelson Mandela is one, and after that, I also would like to see a memorial in honor of Native Americans of this country. Because when I was in India, I used to read a lot about them. They have gone through a lot of
Pain.
actually, or suffering in this country, no doubt about it. And I think time has come to acknowledge what we have done to them. We should actually be very, very mindful of that. It was their country that we have taken over. So I want to do something in the Peace Garden at Fresno State. Want to have a memorial to pay tributes to the people whom I feel are the great actually. They are very peaceful people, and their spirituality actually particularly had impressed me a lot. Very simple way of life that they had. Relationship with Mother Nature, relationship with Mother Earth, very impressive like that over there. So I want to honor them also in the Peace Garden.
Dr. Kapoor, we're out of time this week on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
We'd love to have you back to talk about
anytime.
When you, not if, when you get the Nelson Mandela statue, we want you back to talk about the statue.
Definitely. We will be very happy. We'll be very happy to come back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that. God bless you.
Likewise. Thank you. That's all for this edition of the Central Valley Ledger. You just heard from Dr. Kapoor of Fresno State, a local celebrity in my opinion. He came to the studio and everybody knew him. Thank you to Gary Johnson in the studios making us look and sound good, and to those watching on CMAC, Comcast 93 and AT&T 99. We hope you enjoyed the program this week. Tune in next week to a new edition.
KFSR and CMAC present the Central Valley Ledger every Sunday morning at 11:30. For a complete program schedule, visit kfsr.org.